So you should be all very welcome to another vlog in the course 2DV013, or the first stand-up vlog actually, since this is the second week of the course. Welcome, Mats and Diego.
Thanks.
So yeah, I just told off camera that I had, as some of you know, I got a cold last week. I usually don't get sick that often, so like once every second year or something like that. But this time it hit the same day that all our new students came, as also the same time as all new courses started. So last week was kind of unorganized for me and really a mess, and I'm trying to catch up now, and getting back on my feet, and also getting up to speed with this course. So I feel a little bit like, whoa, what is happening in the course? But Diego, you did a great job last week with fixing everything. So thanks to you. But what happened last week? You had a course introduction, and you also had a seminar, right?
Yeah, we had a short course introduction on Zoom instead of YouTube, and yeah, after that we had the full seminar on CS Cloud and using the cloud resources and how they should proceed this week with the command line interface for the OpenStack and creating the first set of free cloud resources manually.
Yep. Great. And I will open the course webpage, but has everything worked? I saw something just about some Python that in the documentation of OpenStack, it said that you were supposed to have an older version of Python, but then it turned out that it actually works with a newer version as well, or?
Yeah, I had the CLI installed since much time ago, so the students told me that they were installing it directly with the Python 3 and it was working. So they can try first with the Python 3, and if it doesn't work, then they can pay attention to be careful, go to 2.7.
Yeah. And if we should draw some lessons from last year with a course like this, I mean, you might have, I haven't watched your introduction, Diego, so you maybe talked about this, but in a course like this, there will be a lot of tools, like tools, different tools, and a lot of new concepts, and you all are on different computers, different operating systems, and stuff will like work a little bit differently on different operating systems, different versions of operating systems. There will be bugs in like OpenStack, and there will be bugs in other things, and it will be like you really need to focus on reading error messages, trying to Google up, well, okay, so I get this problem, what can it be? Ask around, is anyone else having this kind of problem? And like go from there. I mean, if you go through this course without getting an error message, I mean, you've probably done something wrong, because there will be like speed bumps all around, all the way, and just get used to it, because working with things like this, you run into speed bumps all the time, and could be as simple as you have forgotten to set the correct access rights on a file, or there is a firewall at your company, and when you're sitting behind that firewall, you are not able to communicate through a certain port that some system need to start its handshake. So there are so many things that can happen. So just be aware that it's not an easy course. It's like Niklas said last year. I mean, it's a hard course. So yeah, just be aware of that. I will share my screen just so we can have a look at the course web page. So now and for...
Well, something to say before you start with that. Everyone who is registered have all received credentials to CS Cloud, and if you're registered on the course but haven't got any credential, secret project at GitLab, then something is wrong. So contact me in case of that.
Yeah. So you find the credentials, you go into GitLab on this course, and then you find a secrets repository or project under your user, and you should find everything there. So contact Mats if you do not find that. Okay, so I mean, there are 3 parts in the course, and we are now in the infrastructure part of the course, and that's why you will see a lot of Diego this part, because Diego, you are kind of the main guy for the infrastructure part. I don't have in my memory how many weeks we'll go on, but it's like I don't know, what could it be, 6 weeks, something like that?
4 + 1 or 5 + 1, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So
So
for the assignment, 3 or
Yep.
similar.
So you can focus on this part as of right now, and you find this was what you talked about, I guess, on the seminar last week.
Yeah, I used the introduction slides from Mats.
Well,
and I
on the
uploaded them.
workshop.
Yeah, workshop. Yep, workshop. I should call it workshop. Yeah.
This item of the introduction slides maybe should be in an upper level, not within the infrastructure, because it's Mats slides.
Okay.
about
Yep.
the code.
Yep. The introduction slides.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the week 1 slides contain the expectations for this week. So using CS Cloud and learning the first commands manually, and then there is a guide to CS Cloud and an appendix that summarizes the commands that we will use.
And I mean, many of you has come to term with CS Cloud. You have worked with CS Cloud before, but not in the way that we do in this course, because you have mainly just before gotten a machine that is hosted on CS Cloud, and you have got access right to that machine, and you have maybe installed Nginx and all of this on your machine. So you have kind of been a client where we have been the ones that has created the machines for you, setting up everything. So in this course, you should look at it the other way. Now you are the ones that will go into CS Cloud, use the APIs, and to create machines in CS Cloud for others or for yourself. So yeah. And now we are in course week 2. I will replace this one. I forgot. So I will make sure that we have, because this is the vlog from last year. So I will replace it with this one, of course. But so what is up with this week, Diego?
This week we will make automatic the provisioning of resources that during the last week we were doing manually. So we will see some benefits of doing it automatically and as infrastructure as code.
So instead of like manually creating 30 virtual machines, we can automate that process with.
So this this week was command after command, and the replicability will be low. If somebody tries to deploy the same infrastructure, then we will use documents, but not as text files, but not as documentation. So not to specify what we want to deploy, and then somebody else reads and executes the command. But this document will be code, will be executable. So we will use some tool that then it can always replicate and deploy, provision the same infrastructure.
And that tool is for this week Terraform.
Yes.
In that case. Yes, good. Do you want to present something now, Diego, or do you do that at the workshop this afternoon?
I have a few slides now, and then more detailed ones for the workshop in the
Great.
afternoon.
Then you can prepare to share that.
Okay. Let's see.
Also, a good when Diego is doing that, I can say that the CS Cloud it's running a version of OpenStack, and that version is being a bit outdated now, but just be aware that we are on an older version of OpenStack. If you so you just think of that if you Google stuff and you try to find out, just make sure that the information that you find is relevant for our version of the OpenStack. There is a new version on its way, but I have a hard time thinking it will be launched during this course. Maybe in parallel, but or maybe not.
I'm almost there. I
You should have.
I didn't find. I saw in the present icon, but I didn't see the share screen. So now you should see a PowerPoint. No.
Yep.
Okay. If I go into presentation mode. Yeah. So this week, second week of the course, and we will make the provisioning and configuration, special emphasis on the provisioning part that we did last week, this time automated. So we will see, we will have some theory part and some practice. The theory of making the provision automated is based on infrastructure as code. So as theory, we will understand the benefits of automating deployments and automatic management of computer infrastructures. And then after this part of knowing why we will do the practice that we will do, we will exercise. And for the exercise, we will get familiarity with a tool that makes this automatic provisioning and management of cloud infrastructure. So as the sub goals for the theory they are all related to infrastructure as code. So know what is infrastructure as code, motivation of using infrastructure as code, benefits of using infrastructure as code. We can see some languages for that, or maybe specifically we will see only one language, but we will see deep types of languages. And we will also discover properties of infrastructure as code. One of them quite important, and why we use tools that already implement that, is the idempotency. For the theory, the book in the literature does not cover this, so we will use online resources. Here you will find 3 links to one to Martin Fowler, who is a big name in software engineering, another from the Red Hat, another from the Microsoft View, or all of them in infrastructure as code, that describe the infrastructure as code motivation, why using the IAC, infrastructure as code, and the benefits. And then the university also has a couple of videos, because a few years ago there was a course dedicated on this, on infrastructure as code. So where they explain in Swedish benefits, languages, and properties of infrastructure as code. So you have here, this is the main video on automation, and this other provides some initial definitions if they are necessary. So these are resources in Swedish. There is a book on infrastructure as code, or at least one. Since we will use this for a short time, so it's not in the literature. So it's called Infrastructure as Code, and the second version is called, the second edition, Dynamic Systems for the Cloud Age. Keith Morris is the author, and you can see a interview, a podcast, with the author in this link. So this is so nice to see his view during the interview. So if you go through these resources, you will be in a good situation to know what is going on with the infrastructure as code and why we will use it, what we expect, which good properties we expect from using it. And then after that, or well, yeah, ideally after that, we start with the practice and using a tool. And we will use the Terraform tool, and we will go through some steps. First install, and we will see the process to follow. The installation is quite simple. So if you are watching the video now and you have Terraform installed by the afternoon, much better, because you will be able to execute commands at the same time as I do. Then we will see how to allow Terraform to interact with the CS cloud, with our OpenStack-based cloud, because Terraform can be used for many cloud providers, many providers. We'll see how the list. And then we will create the files that are the infrastructure specification, so the infrastructure as code. Here are TF files, because the Terraform uses the TF extension. And now you needed to manually create using the OpenStack command, the CLI, network, subnetwork, servers, security groups, and the instances, the servers, and floating IPs to access from the outside. So we will see how to define these concepts also in the Terraform syntax. So the goal of the week, the practical goal, is to obtain the same infrastructure that you have created during this week, writing on your terminal command after command, but in a document, and then with a single click or single command, it's the infrastructure is deployed. So the server that can be accessed by SSH on port 22, and it can be also accessed on port 18. This is part of the detailed, more detailed information that I will provide this afternoon. So we skip this. If you don't, we follow the same process as last week. So we are on Wednesday now. Then you have 3 days: the Thursday, Friday, and Monday morning. If by Monday morning you have not been able to to execute the first command with Terraform yet, then write to me on Slack, and we will have a workshop as we did yesterday, where you can share your screen and we see the problems and we go together through the problems to solve them. And some other interesting links that you will find in I think that you can already find these slides on the website, but I will upload them with the latest version, so you can get more. You can read these blogs and Wikipedia pages. Yeah, that's
great.
That's all.
And remember to also, but you have probably already figured this out, but you will probably need to use the VPN when you connect to CS Cloud. So don't forget that if you are outside the university network, if you are inside then the network as a campus student connected through eduroam, you shouldn't need the VPN, I think. But if you're outside, you will need that one. But there is guys on the course webpage for this. But it's it's frustrating. I know I've been in a situation. I've been saying, why isn't it working? And like, oh damn, I'm at home. So yeah, that's why. And then you need to connect to the VPN.
Yeah, I think that we cannot even access the website, no? CS Cloud.
Yeah, CS Cloud is totally blocked from the outside, so you will need.
This is a good test to know if it is because of the VPN. No? You cannot even access the website, the front page, and then the problem is not in your OpenStack commands, the syntax or the infrastructure as code, but is the VPN.
Yep. Yeah. So watch out for that. Good. I will also, as I said, update so that we have all those stand-up vlogs each week added to the course webpage. So you will find the recordings there as well.
Okay. What about this afternoon then? Where and when? Or because I see in the schedule, Diego, that you are already booked on a course called 4DV651 between 13 and 15.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not today don't give that lesson.
Okay.
So yeah, it's on my name because I'm the coordinator and I think that the slots were all on my name, but it's not my turn.
So will you come to Kalmar
Yes,
or
now
not?
I go to the station and I take a train to Kalmar and I will arrive at around 12.
Yeah, we still don't know which room you will use, but all rooms for 12, for 14, 40, 93 are free. So that shouldn't be a problem anyhow.
No.
Last week the students at this time were in some room because they saw the screen they share and they were also using a projector. So that same room is fine. If they are on that room, I go there.
Shirin's writing 4 of 14 now.
Yeah, perfect. Or we will maybe, Shirin, if we will not be in for 14, I think, because the new students will probably hang out there, so we will probably switch to 412 instead. But well, I mean, if you are on campus, all campus students, be here at like 10:01, and you will know where Diego is. It's not that big, so we are somewhere on the 4th floor at least. So yeah, and distance students will be able to connect through Zoom. Great. So I have meetings all afternoon on another place, and will probably but I will probably be able to say hi when you arrive, Diego. So
okay.
See you in a bit, and to all the students, have a great week. And I mean, it's start working with Terraform. It's pretty fun actually, and you will see the power of those tools. That is pretty great actually, to not needing to do all of those boring manual steps. You can automate it all, so that's great. Great. Okay, anything else? No? Okay, have a good week. See you around. Bye.
See you later. Bye.